if you're a startup and you already received some credits and you want to see if you are eligible for another round of credits, you should watch this video because I'm going to go over stuff you probably haven't heard before, and let's get right into it. So before we get started, why you should listen to me. So my name is Neta and I run a lead generation agency specifically in the cloud niche, and I have seen what makes startups qualify and not qualify for another round of credits. I personally witnessed tens of these calls and I see what kind of companies got approved for hundreds of thousands of dollars in credits and what kind of companies got rejected and weren't actually qualified for any of the commercial offers we are going to outlay in this video. So if you're a startup founder, you probably should watch this video because even if you don't qualify right now, you will probably qualify down the line if you keep scaling your product and get more users. So watch this video, see what makes a startup qualified for funding and credits, and use that information right now or in the future when you're eligible. So to get right into it, usually startups ask the wrong question. Instead of asking, can we get more credits, which is too vague, you need to ask, what evidence makes this account worth supporting? So what you need to understand is the lens of the cloud provider. They don't mind giving you free money if they know your account is going to get bigger and you're going to spend more money down the line on your cloud bill. But they won't just hand it out for free without any obligations. So when you reach out to the cloud provider, you need to come prepared with your current spend, why it's going to go up, and stuff like that. So your mindset needs to be, how do we make our account seems very attractive and an account that's going to get bigger down the line and going to spend way more on cloud than it's spending right now. So to know what you qualify for and understand what you're eligible for in terms of funding and credits, here are the 5 signals that decide the routes that you should take. So signal 1 is company stage has to look real. So if you're just an idea without a domain, without a team, without a product, and without a deployment plan, you're just basically a wannabe startup. In that case, you might get a couple $100 of credits, but to get the actual startup packages, you need to have funding, you need to have a live product, you need to have paying customers, and or a launch or a growth plan that is down the line and going to be very soon with actual dates and not imaginary in 2 years. In that case, you will be eligible for the big credits programs. But if you're just an idea, don't try to get the startup packages of credits because you simply won't get it. Signal number 2 is your cloud spend. So this is the most important thing and the highest leverage thing that you could mention in your story to get another line of credits. And it is de facto the most important thing in this entire conversation. So if you're $3,000 or above, a partner will be interested in you and he can take your package, your spend, and build the perfect story because he has existing relationships with the cloud providers. And his incentive is to get you the best deal possible so you get under his reseller agreement, which doesn't cost you anything, but the cloud provider compensates him. So because of that, he will take your spend. If it's $3,000 per month, he will take your entire story and will showcase it to the cloud provider. So if you're $3,000 or above, you will be able to get more credits with a partner, with a reseller of your current cloud provider. But if you're below $3,000 in spend and you're like at the $1,500 per month range, a real cloud reseller won't be interested in packaging your account and getting you good deals because you're a small account that doesn't really translate into revenue through his reseller agreement with the cloud provider you're currently on. So if you're $3,000 or below, you're not eligible for any serious credit programs for a reseller. But if you're above, you should probably go reach out to a reseller. So signal number 3, which is another very important thing, is the credit history is not just a yes or no. So you probably think, yeah, I received credits, I'm probably not eligible for another round of credits, but this is not actually the case because there are 2 things a partner can do for you that you're probably not aware of. So one scenario is that, let's say you used your credits and you received $50,000 in credits and you used all of them in a couple of months. In that case, you can go to your provider, let's say it's AWS, and you can tell them, hey, we received $50,000 and we've gone through them fast. We want another line of credits, and you might be eligible for another $100,000 or even more, depending on your case and your specific spend right now. But this is another real way of getting more cloud credits before you start paying your actual bill. And again, the best way to get that deal and to negotiate the best deal possible is going through a reseller because they have existing relationships with your cloud provider. So this is something to be aware of. Another case is that your credits are expired. So this is actually a not really good case because it shows your cloud provider that you received credits, you didn't go through all of them, so your spend is not very meaningful. But a cloud reseller, if you're spending $3,000 or more per month, he can take that case and he can go to your provider and tell him, listen, these guys are going to spend more down the line. Let's extend their credits. So let's say your credits were expired in August. They can extend your usage for more months. So this is actually a really good way to get more credits without actually getting another line of credits. So signal number 3, which is something you really need to be aware of, is that you need to show growth. This is what the providers actually care about. So if you are going to have a new funding round or a new product launch, a new customer rollout, like a big enterprise customer who is going to make your product spend a lot of money on cloud, and any AI data GPU migrations, stuff that is going to spike your cloud bill, this is something you really need to tell your reseller or your provider, because this is the stuff that actually gets you fundings and credits and all of the good stuff that you're interested in. One thing you should be aware of is that provider fit beats credit shopping. So you probably might think, hey, we received $100,000 at AWS. Let's get another $300,000 with GCP. And I can understand that line of thinking, but one thing you should be aware of is that the problem and hassle of moving your cloud environment. So this can actually be a really big thing that will delay your product, and down the line it will probably reduce your runway and not improve it. So moving a provider is probably the last resort thing you want to do, and the first thing you should do before that is understand what commercial options are available for you. So let's say you received credits, but you are probably eligible for discounts, you're probably eligible for a cloud optimization audit done by a reseller that will be funded by your provider. So if your cloud is spiking, don't just go look for another line of credits and don't go hire an expensive DevOps hire. Just go to a reseller, ask them to do a cloud optimization audit on your environment and get the funding from the provider. They will pay for this audit to be done, and these guys can actually save you a lot of money on your cloud bill by doing that optimization that will not cost you anything. So this is the stuff you should be looking for before thinking of switching your provider. So a lot of startups are not aware of it, but it's a great way to save tons of money and improve your runway. So here is the actual stuff you can get through your cloud provider that is not just credits. So if you want to get more credits, you need to have eligibility and credible growth. If you want to get discounts, you need to have predictable cloud usage above $3,000 per month. If you want to get better payment terms, like net 90 payment terms instead of direct card bill, and that will actually improve your runway and get you a lot of working capital, you should negotiate with a reseller who will route your billing through them and will get you better payment terms. If you want to get funded work on your environment, like a cloud cost optimization audit that will save you a lot of money and will not cost you anything because it's being funded by the provider, just go to the right reseller and he will get you that cost optimization audit done on your environment. And if you want to migrate, it's also worth going to the right reseller because he can fund your entire migration. And all of that stuff, you can get a clear answer on what you're eligible for by just talking with the right partner who will package the right deal specifically for you. If you want to get a clear answer on what you're eligible for, go to cloudcredits.co and answer the form in the homepage. It's going to take you less than 1 minute, and by the end of the form, you'll know what you're eligible for, whether it's credits, funding, discounts, etc. And after that, you can book a call directly in the website and get matched with a pre-vetted partner who will get you what you need, and it doesn't cost you anything because it's being funded by your hyperscaler. So if you got value from this video, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to post more of this stuff, and I hope to see you here again.